All right, ladies and gentlemen, let's see if we can solve for y with these 6 problems. Starting with problem number 1. We're given y plus 4 equals 5x plus 6. What's going on with this marker? Okay, what's my first step to getting y by itself? Well, here's the very first step. We're going to take our straight edge and draw a vertical line. That's going to help us keep everything in order. Now I want y to be by itself. Right now we have y plus 4. So what should I do to get rid of this plus 4? Minus 4. Very good, sir. Minus 4 on both sides. So we keep the equation in balance. All right. Well, these cancel. Oops. So now I have y equals, and that was my goal, y equals 5x. We just bring that 5x down since we didn't touch it. And then what's 6 minus 4? Positive 2, so we put plus 2. Now, the reason that we even did any of this is so we could get the equation in the form y equals mx plus b. Okay? M is the slope of the line. B is the y-int, the y-intercept. Okay? So let me ask you this question. What is the slope of this line? 5, right? And you can even circle like this. M is 5, so slope is 5. What's the y-intercept? 2. So if I wanted to, I could quickly plot a little graph. That'll work. And we just go up 2 here. That's our y-intercept. And so from there we go up 5 over 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 over 1. There's our second point. And so the graph would look something kind of like that. Okay? Okay. So now we're going to move on to number. Did you write all that down?
I already have it all written down.
Okay. Now we're going to move on to number 2, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2. Okay, here's number 2. Y minus 5 equals 5x plus 5. What's the first step?
Put plus 5 under the negative 5, or unless it is negative.
Very good. So put a plus 5 under the negative 5. Okay? Now what?
You gotta draw a line under both, or draw a line under the equal sign.
Oh, you mean draw a line through the equal sign? Good. All right. Now I can cancel these out, right?
Yeah, cancel them out. You'll just equal or
So now y equals,
0
bring this down,
plus 10
plus 10,
or positive 10.
positive 10. So now remember, we have y equals mx plus b. So in this case, what is the y-intercept?
The y-intercept is 10.
10. Okay? And what's the slope?
5.
Perfect. All right, that'd be too hard to draw, so we'll just skip it.
You sure? I mean, well, yes, there's the rack over and run.
It's just too much to draw, yeah,
Keep counting and
forever. Okay, moving on to number 3. We're almost halfway done. Y minus 2 equals 3, open parentheses, x plus 1, close parentheses. Okay? What should be the first step in this process? Oh, the parentheses. And what property, do you remember the property name? Starts with a D.
division, or, well, not division, but distribute.
Distributive, good job. You did it. Okay, distributive property. Okay, and that implies that we're going to multiply, right?
Yes.
So we're going to we'll just bring this y minus 2 down since I didn't touch that. And I better draw my vertical line. Okay. Now, what do I do?
You put 3x plus 3.
3x, 3 times x is 3x, 3 times 1 is plus 3. Very good. Now, in this problem, we got one more step until we're done.
You gotta cross out 2's. Well, taking 2, but
I got to get rid of this negative 2. How do I get rid of it?
by putting a plus 2.
Good job. Putting a plus 2 underneath. And then make sure you put the plus 2 underneath the constant on the other side. So when you have a negative 2, positive 2, you can cancel out. And we have y equals. We just bring this 3x down because we didn't touch it. And then we have 3 plus 2, which is 5. Y equals 3x plus 5. So this is in y equals mx plus b form. Y equals mx plus b form. So what is the y-intercept?
It is 5.
Okay. And what's the slope?
3.
Just the 3.
Thinking it is 3.
All right, we just look at that, the number to the left of the x. So if I was going to graph this guy here, okay, got a little graph here. This is the y-axis. This is the x-axis. Here's the origin. So I'm going to put my first dot at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Put my first dot at 5 because that's the y-intercept. Right?
Yes.
Now what do I do?
You do rise over 1.
Which would be,
3 over 1.
so we go up 1, up 2, up 3, over 1. So like right there. There's our second point. And that rise over run looks like this. Up 3, over 1. And so we come in here with the ruler. Boom. Draw this guy in. Make sure to put your arrowheads on there.
If you don't, it's 1.
If you don't, it's not clear that it's a line. It could be a line segment. All right. So that's how you do number 3. We'll erase. Moving on to number 4. So we're getting close to the end. They get harder though. Uh-oh. Number 4. We don't say harder, we say more challenging. 7y plus 7 equals 14, open parentheses, x plus 2, close parentheses. What shall we do?
The multiplication for the distribution.
Do the distributive property first. Okay. Now, some other people might solve it a different way, but this is correct. There's nothing wrong with this. So we're going to go ahead and just follow this gentleman's lead here. 7y plus 7 equals, now 14 times x is 14x. What else? What do I do now?
14 times 2 equals 28.
14 times 2 equals plus 28. Good. Okay, you're on a roll. What do we do now?
Plus 7 plus 7 equals 14.
If we add 7 to both sides, this will become a 14, and this will become a 35. Do you want to do that? Are we trying to get rid of the 7? If I have a positive 7 and I want to make it go away, what do I do?
Divide 14 by 7.
We could divide every single term by 7, but I want you to, that's kind of looking ahead a little bit. So I just want to get rid of this plus 7. So we just do the opposite of addition.
You subtract 7.
Minus 7.
So you get 7.
Over here as well. Minus 7.
Plus 7 minus 7. That still equals 7.
Well, I've got plus 7 minus 7. 7 minus 7 is 0. So we cancel it out. And now I've got 7y equals, and then we bring down that 14x because we didn't touch it. And then what's 28 minus 7? 21. Positive 21. What's the final step?
Division.
Yes, sir. Division. What am I dividing by what?
14 divided by 7 and the 21 divided by 7.
And the 7y divided by 7. So we're going to divide, in other words, we're going to divide everything by 7, like this. Okay? Now, what that allows me to do is cancel the 7's on the left, and now I have y by itself. Y equals 14 divided by 7 is 2. So I write 2x. 21 divided by 7 is 3. So I write plus 3. Okay? Now that's it. You did it. So let's just write y equals mx plus b. What's the y-intercept?
3.
3. What's the slope?
2.
2. Okay? I'm going to quickly sketch the graph of this so you can start to see the idea. And also to remind us that sketching graphs does not need to take a long time. So we're just going to start here at 3. 1, 2, 3. Dot. Now what do? Right. Yeah, so I go up 2 and then over 1 right there. And that's what the line kind of looks like that. Okay? Draw a line, put arrowheads, and we're done. Moving on. 2 more to go, and then we're finished in record time. Number 5. Here we go. Now these are going to get a little bit more complicated. In fact, going to write it a little bit higher up. There's going to need more room. 5y minus 5 equals 5 over 7, open parentheses, x minus 21, close parentheses. Oh dear. The process is just the same as it was in the previous problem. So you started the last two problems by telling me to distribute. Yes, sir. So I'm just going to distribute. I don't care if it's a fraction. Doesn't matter. All right?
5 over 7x.
Very good. So first I'm going to just rewrite the entire left side because I'm not going to mess with that right now. 5y minus 5 equals, we haven't touched it yet, so right now we're just going to rewrite it. So now 5 over 7 times x is 5 over 7x. Now, I want to look over here in side work, all right, real quick. Before we jump into that, 5 over 7 times negative 21. Okay, this is confusing to a lot of people. This is where people get stuck. They're not sure whether to go with the top or with the bottom. What do we do here? We're going to just choose the top, okay? So we can really think of negative 21 as like negative 21 over 1.
So it's just for the bottom one, what you counted?
Yeah, so yes, so we're going to look at this like 5 over 7 times negative 21 over 1. And we're going to multiply across the top and across the bottom. But, and this is important, okay? We don't want to get into a situation where we're multiplying 21 times 5. Okay, because that's big numbers.
Even though it equals 105.
It equals 105, but very few people would know that off the top of their heads, and they definitely wouldn't know what 105 divided by 7 is. So what I like to do is I like to break down 21 into 3 times 7.
So it's just 3 times 7 is the remaining of the...
Yeah, so what I want to do here is I want to do 5 times 3 times 7 over 7 times 1. And now I can cancel the 7s. Okay? So all I'm left with is 5 times 3. What's 5 times 3?
15 over 1.
15 over 1, and we don't have to write over 1. We can just write 15. So let's go back to our problem. We're distributing 5/7 to negative 21. So we know it's going to be negative. And we already established that 5/7 times 21 is just 15. So we're going to do 5/7 x minus 15. Okay, we're on our way. The hard part's over. Now you just have to add something. What do you do next?
The canceling out of the 5s.
Right, so how do I make this go away?
Canceling out both of them, or?
Yep, so you have minus 5, so we need to do
It's plus 5.
plus 5, and then we have to do it on both sides. So we have to come over here and do plus 5, okay? Now that's good because that cancels this out. Canceled, all right? We have 5y equals 5/7 x. And then what's negative 15 plus 5? Positive or negative?
Negative.
Negative 10. Very good. Minus 10. Oh boy. Last step. Want to get the y by itself.
Why 5 divided by 5/7?
Oh, hold up. So we're just going to divide out the 5 here. Okay, so we're going to basically, and I want to show you something. And this, to know when to do this versus to draw the fraction bar, this just takes time. Okay, it just takes time. So I could draw the fraction bar, but then I'd be here drawing a fraction bar under a fraction, which is just very complicated. So what I actually want to do this time is I'm going to multiply both sides by 1 over 5. It's the same thing as dividing by 5. Okay? And I'm going to multiply the other side by 1 over 5. Okay? And when I multiply, I put this thing in parentheses because I'm going to have to distribute that multiplication to both terms, okay? Distribution can go that way as well. Now, on the left side, doing this cancels the 5. So we achieved our goal. It's just like dividing both sides by 5. We have y equals.
You got 1/5 over, wait, the 5's cancel.
The 5's cancel. Good. You saw that. So all that's left is 1/7 x. How about here?
Just -10.
-10 times 1 over 5. So it's -10 over 1 times 1 over 5.
So we just do cross multiplication? Wait, no, this makes it longer.
No, you're going to multiply across the top and across the bottom. -10 over 5.
And then from a fraction,
What does this reduce to?
1/2
Flip that upside down.
to 1.
2 over 1. So you cancel top and the bottom. You divide both top and bottom by 5. -10 divided by 5 is -2. 5 divided by 5 is 1. So it's -2 over 1 or just -2. So we'll come back here and write -2. Okay, good. So this is y equals mx plus b. So what is, can you tell me the y-intercept?
2 or -2.
Very good. Make sure you grab that sign, okay? Grab the sign with it. So it's -2. And how about the slope?
1 over 7.
Okay, and that's rise over run. So what is the rise?
So 1
And the run?
is 7.
Yeah, and you know what? Because with so much work, I feel like we need to see what that looks like. So right. There we go. That's your standard graph. We're going to start here at -2. Right? Dot. And now we're going to rise 1, run 7. Okay? Rise 1, run 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. About right there. Okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, so now we see that is kind of what the line looks like. All right? You notice that when the slope is a fraction with the smaller number on top, the line seems to be flat, more flat. Okay? And that's important. So we call that a relatively less steep slope toward the ones that we did before where the slope was like 5 or 10, 20, whatever. Okay, finally, we've made it to the last problem. Let's push through and finish strong. Here we go. Number 6, ladies and gentlemen. 5 over 4. Y minus 2. Oh boy. equals 6/8. Open parentheses, x plus 4, close parentheses. This is our problem. We must face this together. What should I do first?
Multiplication, distributing of 6 and 8 for both sides. Well, not 8 on both sides, but 8 goes on the bottom.
You mean distribute the 6/8 to inside the parentheses?
Yes.
Good. Now, some people might say, hey, 6/8 can be reduced. Close. 3/4. So we could cross this out and write 3/4. Okay, so we'll distribute the 3/4 instead. We'll distribute 3/4 to both of those terms. So first I'm going to rewrite the left side, 5/4y minus 2 equals. Okay. Now what's 3/4 times x?
3/4.
3/4 x. And what's 3/4 times 4?
12 over 4.
Yeah, what's that?
1/3.
12 divided by 4? 3. So plus 3. Now what?
The -2 and put a +2 under it.
Okay.
The same with the +3.
Plus 2, plus 2, very good. Cancel. I have 5/4y equals. I just brought this down. And now I have 3/4x plus 3 plus 2. What's 3 plus 2?
5.
5. Now there's one final step. You weren't here the first week that we did this, but we did something called multiplying by the reciprocal. And the reciprocal is just this fraction flipped. Yes, so I'm going to multiply both sides by 4/5, okay? Yeah, now I have to do this distribution over here. 4/5. Now on the left, look what I get to cancel the 4s and the 5s. Got the y by itself. That's the goal. We did it. Now we just have to successfully handle this situation.
The 5s cancel out each other and the 4s cancel out each other.
Perfect. You got it. So what's left? We've got here 3x plus 4. Excellent job, man. That is great. Okay, so now, that was really impressive. So now we're going to do y equals mx plus b. And what is the y-intercept?
The y-intercept is 4.
Great. And what's the slope?
3.
Great. And now we'll just graph it since we're at the end. We want to show our work and be proud of what we've accomplished. We'll just draw a quick graph here. Excellent job, by the way. That was very, very good. So now I'm going to go up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Better label, y, x. And so I'm going to graph here at 4. This is my y-intercept. And now what do I do?
5/1 with 3/1.
3/1, go up 1, 2, 3/1. Boom, just like that. This is more steep than the last one. All right, we put the arrowheads and we are done. Great job. Excellent work. I am very proud of you, sir. And thank you so much for helping me. And thank you to those of you at home who made it to the end of this video. Make sure to like and subscribe. Thanks.